Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Susan Thornton, the CEO of the Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation, and we are here at our second international conference. And I just would like to welcome everyone from around the world who has taken the time to join us today. It's very exciting to be able to do this for the second time in the last 2 years. And to have the opportunity to bring to all of you, no matter where you live, this valuable opportunity to connect with each other, to connect with physicians, ask your questions, learn about the disease. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be able to come to all of you through the ether waves, although I wish we were in person, but more a little bit about that later. So I'd like to start with outlining today's agenda. We're in our welcome and hello. So this is really great. And I'll share a little bit about what's happening at the Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation as we go along. But up first after this, we will have a presentation on the outcomes of the 2022 Global Patient Survey with Lorna Warwick, who is the CEO of the Lymphoma Coalition. We'll take a break. So we'll have an opportunity so you don't have to sit for too long. You can grab your coffee and maybe a little snack. And then we'll come back and learn more about the global research on the impact of dermatological diseases, which is a big research initiative sponsored by Global Skin. And then we have basics of cutaneous lymphoma, a lunch break, and then we're going to do live questions and answers. And then after that, we've got our networking breaks, which is where we'll have the opportunity to connect and engage with each other and meet and share experiences and stories. And then at the end, I'm going to share a little bit about my journey with cutaneous lymphoma before we finish up with a really wonderful and lovely inspirational song. So I'm excited about today, and I'm excited to have all of you joining us. And I thought I would say, okay, so wait, but why are we here? Why are we sharing this kind of an agenda, and what is new this year? So why are we here? Well, it's so important for those of us who are living with cutaneous lymphoma, and of course the people that love us, to come together and connect and be able to know that no one, no matter where you live, is alone, and to help provide support and guidance, connect people with specialist clinicians, share what's going on in research and in therapies. And then the other component, and why we're starting today with the outcomes from the Global Patient Survey, which many of you may have responded to, and if you did, thank you very, very much, because in our world today, it's so important to bring the patient voice to the table. And while all of our stories are important and we need to share them, what's really important, and when you're talking about regulators and approvals for new medicines and access to medicines and so forth, we've got to have data. And these initiatives that we're starting with today bring data to the table, and we can look across a large patient population. So the Global Patient Survey, we had, I think, over 500 cutaneous lymphoma patients from around the world answered those questions. And it's from your perspective, which is why it's so important. And that adds a richness to the clinical data that gets captured at the clinic and from your physicians, who may be asking questions about, how are you feeling today? How's your itch? This is really, how do you feel every day? What are the things that are really important to you? And we take that data and we can present it as the global patient voice, the aggregate patient voice, the hot topics, the things that really matter to patients, and share that both with those who are developing new therapies in the biopharmaceutical field, to the regulators who are reviewing and deciding and determining, wow, is this new medicine, should this be available in our country? So all of these things are really important, which is why we wanted to start today with both an update on the Lymphoma Coalition 2022 Global Patient Survey, and then the new grid project from Global Skin. So as many of you know, because our disease shows up on the skin, we live in the world of skin diseases, but it's a blood cancer because it's truly of the lymphatic system. So we also live in the hematology world. So by collaborating with these two large umbrella organizations that are bringing together in the lymphoma world, the global lymphoma patients, or in global skin, the skin disease patients, we have the capacity then to collect that kind of data from all of you. And again, pull it together and create the story, create the things that are important to patients, and then share that in a bigger, broader way. So that's why we're starting there. And then what I also wanted to share, which is very exciting today, is that we're doing presentations on the basics of lymphoma. But what's different this year is we have had the honor and privilege of having several physicians from around the world give up their time and create the basics presentation in several languages. So it will be available in English with subtypes. So for those of you who, we don't have all languages. So you'll be able to actually understand in your own language. But we have Professor Martin Vermeer from the Netherlands, who has graciously provided a basics presentation in Dutch. Professor Martine Bagot has done a presentation in French, and Professor Quaglino from Italy has done it in Italian. We tried to get Spanish and German, and we just kind of ran out of time, but hopefully we'll be able to do those in the future. So we're trying our best to create an opportunity for all of you to be able to access this really important information in your language so that it's much easier to understand. So it's a start. And then for our questions and answers, we are hosting this program over 3 time zones. So Central Eastern European time, Eastern time, and Pacific time. And for the question and answers with the experts, each time zone will have a pair of clinicians. So for the Central European, we'll have Professors Vermeer and Bagot. For Eastern time, we are going to have Dr. Jennifer DeSimone from Inova in Virginia and Dr. Allison Moskowitz from Memorial Sloan Kettering. And for the Western region, we have Dr. Steve Rosen from City of Hope and Dr. Aaron Mangold from Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale. Now, you are welcome to participate in all of them or one of them or none of them, and also know that each of the presentations will be available after the conference. So you can always go back and watch the ones that you didn't participate in. And then our networking sessions are also going to be multilingual. We have collaborated with our dear friends and colleagues at other organizations to join us to help facilitate the networking groups. So Guy Bouguet, who's the president of ILI in France, will be hosting the French session. Rosemary Fowl, who is the president of the Lymphoma organization in Switzerland, will be hosting a group in German. And Tom Deleu from our sister organization in the Netherlands, the Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation in the Netherlands, will be hosting one in Dutch. And then I'll be hosting in English. So I'm very excited to be able to provide this day, this conference for you in a variety of languages with a lot, hopefully, make it easier for all of you. And it's our dipping our toe in the water of trying to truly make this an international conference. So that's what we've got going up today. And I thought I'd share a little bit, switching gears, of what's coming up for the rest of the year. So for those of you, everyone, of course, is welcome to participate and join any of our programs. Obviously, September is a big month for all of us. It's Blood Cancer Awareness Month. We have World Lymphoma Awareness Day on the 15th of September. And at the end of September, it is Rare Cancer Day. So we've got lots of activities surrounding all of those awareness events, and encourage you also to leverage those events to share with your community, with your physicians, and raise awareness and help us raise awareness about cutaneous lymphoma around the world. So we are also hosting, we're going to launch today, the Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation, our Care-a-thon, which will run through the 18th. It's a fundraiser, it's an awareness event for us to be able to let people know what we do, and also to raise funds so we can do more of this and create more of these kinds of opportunities, which is really important. And we have our monthly networking groups, which happen the first Tuesday of every month. And we are also doing our quarterly, or actually every other month now, answers from the experts. So lots of things going on in October. Oh, I forgot to mention, in September, we'll be joining our friends in Spain for a patient education program in person after the finish of the scientific meeting that is being hosted by the European clinicians in Madrid. I will be on site with our Spanish friends to host a patient program live in Madrid. So if you happen to be in Madrid and you can join us, please come to that. That would be fantastic. And I know our sister organization in the Netherlands is planning a live program as well. So if you're in the Netherlands or maybe Belgium, I encourage you to check them out and make sure that you can participate. And we're also hosting a global workshop in Porto, Portugal, where we're bringing together several different organizations who are interested in serving cutaneous lymphoma patients around the world. And we're trying to create a network so that we can do a better job of supporting all of you in your country, in your culture, in your language, and connect you to the physicians and so forth. So it's an exciting project, very early days, but wanted to let you know about some of those exciting things that are happening. And of course, we'll continue to provide great information on the website, and all of our programs are always on our YouTube channel. And if you've noticed, we're starting to build playlists, so it makes it easier to navigate and to find information that you're looking for. And then we are going to dip our toe in the water and have our first live one-day patient education program on November 5th in Philadelphia. So if you're in the Philadelphia region, please come and join us, because it's going to be a good one. And I'm excited to be back in person. I can't wait. It'll be so good. So that's kind of what's going on for the rest of the year. And then I think I mentioned a couple of things, but looking forward into 2023, we are planning to host our 2-day annual patient conference in person in April. So just kind of pencil that in. We don't have any details yet, but I wanted to put it on your radar screen. And as I mentioned, we are beginning this international collaborative initiative, and I'm very excited about it. It's something I think that is so needed. Obviously, there will never be a Cutaneous Lymphoma Foundation in every country, but how can we best provide all the information that we have to all of you, no matter where you live and in your language? So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted as that rolls out and we begin to build that network around the world. And then maybe in 2023, this conference might be a hybrid. We'll have to see how the world looks next year and how things play out. But, I'm hopeful that maybe we'll be able to host the program as a hybrid virtually and be on site, and maybe be somewhere outside of the US. So that's what's coming up on the radar screen. I wanted to give you a heads up on that. And for the rest of the day, I think it's really all about learning, connecting, and let's have some fun. So enjoy your day. I look forward to seeing you throughout the day, and bring your questions to the physicians that they will be answering them. And I encourage you to join the networking groups, meet each other, and we'll be sharing our stories and our experiences, because as many of you know, there's nothing like meeting someone else and understanding that you are not alone in your journey. So thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you all throughout the day. Take good care. Bye-bye.